Recently, I released a video about who should be a future WWE or Universal Champion and you all loved it. Yet, no one knocked the list and wondered where their favourite was. I mean, I can only go so far with 10 names on the list. If I could include everyone, that would have meant calling it 13 wrestlers that should be WWE Champion, or even 14 wrestlers that should be WWE Champion, and that really doesn't have a ring to it, does it? So, 10 it will stay. Sorry all. So, remember what was happening in that video? I picked 10 wrestlers I think should win top prizes in WWE. Now take that concept and let's apply it to the All Elite show. Tony Khan's show has had a fair share of who has held the top prize, the AEW World Championship, but who should be the future holders of that title? Well, that's where I've come up with this list. In no particular order, these are 10 wrestlers that should be AEW Champion. Also, did you know nearly 95% of you aren't subscribed to the channel? Hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for more videos by me. First, some honourable mentions, as I kept this list at 10 and this bunch would still make a great champion. Daniel Garcia, Konosuke Takeshita, Malachi Black, Pac and Powerhouse Hobbs. Number 10, Bryan Danielson. Let's start with an obvious one. You knew full well Bryan would be on this list. At the time of recording, we are a couple of days gone since the incredible 60-minute Ironman match between him and MJF, and I will be honest, I almost got pulled in and thought it may happen. I almost fell into the trap that was thinking Danielson would come away with the title. It never happened. As much as a shame as it is, you can't help but feel that Bryan needs a world title run before he inevitably retired. The matches he was having on the run-up to Revolution was proof that he is a guy to elevate the title into new places. Matches every other week with random wrestlers for the belt, they won't win, but we will get some killer matches from it. You can argue that he doesn't need the title to do this, and you're 100% correct. I just feel because he's been a top champion everywhere he has been, it only makes sense for him to win the AEW World Championship too. Number 9, Wheeler Yuta. My, Wheeler Yuta has come a long way since he first debuted and hung out with the Best Friends. An incredible match with Jon Moxley and an even more incredible feud with Daniel Garcia over the Ring of Honor Pure title, and he has become a prominent part of AEW TV thanks to his place in the Blackpool Combat Club. It's no surprise he is getting better over time with all the matches he is having and the training he receives from names like Claudio Castagnoli and recently mentioned Jon Moxley. What he lacks on the microphone currently, which he can always improve with work over time, he totally makes up for with his in-ring work. Tony Khan can definitely see a future in young Yuta, currently the reigning Pure Champion. If this run continues, you will see him feature a lot more in the new Ring of Honor TV show, putting on clinics with other talent. Down the line in a few years, I can see him getting back to becoming a weekly AEW feature in some world title matches and ready to become a top guy. At the age of 26, we still have a good wait until Yuta will truly be there, but we all know he's going to get there. Number 8, Darby Allin. In his own words, Darby Allin doesn't give a about the AEW World Championship, but you can't help but think it's coming in his future. He was wonderful as the TNT champion after beating Cody Rhodes at Full Gear 2020. His second run in 2023, whilst being incredibly short, had some cracking matches too. This would probably not change if he became the top champion either. There are plenty of great matches we could see with the upper mid card to the main event roster that would help Darby elevate the championship up. I do, however, feel he would be used a lot like Jeff Hardy was as the top champion in WWE, which is kind of more transitional. If we finally see the Sting friendship end and Allin thrown into more marquee matches and big stipulation throwdowns, in the end he would be ready to challenge for the world title, and then we could see him becoming the face and skull of the company. Number 7, Eddie Kingston. I used to see a lot of the IWC speak about how Eddie Kingston would be the one to end MJF's current reign. Well, that seems a distant dream right now due to him not being utilised on the roster at all. Ever since his bust up backstage with Sammy Guevara, it feels like Eddie isn't being used in the same way he was prior to the suspension. Interestingly, after the Dynamite before Revolution, he quit AEW and then showed up in Ring of Honor challenging Claudio for the Ring of Honor World Championship. This could potentially raise Kingston's stock as we are finally seeing a long-running rivalry being brought back into the forefront, and if booking goes well, we could see him win the top title there. This could help Khan see how Eddie handles being the top guy in a company. Yes, it isn't the same size as AEW, but at least it could bring him back in the end with enough momentum. Being one of the most relatable characters in the company currently would create a huge moment when he gets the 1-2-3 over whoever is AEW World Champion at the time. Hopefully Kingston can get back on the path sooner rather than later. Number 6, Swerve Strickland. Wow, Swerve just gets it. He understands how to be that dastardly heel. It's even made him into one of the best bad guys in the current AEW roster. I can't say the same about Parker and Trench, wherever he is. Swerve is a fantastic character with even better in-ring skills. His run in a tag team with Keith Lee showed how great he can be in the ring, as well as the matches he was having one-on-one with others. Swerve has it all. I do think on the list he is one of the few that I don't see holding the world title in the next few years, but if he did, my word, what a run we would have. We all saw big things for him in WWE when Hit Row banded, and let's be honest, he was the talent there. Why can't that same hype be here in AEW? The pay-per-view main event matches he could have with people like Hangman, Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley all would kick butt, and the builds would be excellent, being the absolute tool he is. AEW has a chance to become Swerve's house, and I thoroughly believe it's a lost opportunity if it doesn't. Number 5, Jungle Boy. Good old, well, I guess young Jack Perry. He just consistently looks like he's improving as an all-round talent. His mic skills are slowly getting better, and he's starting to become more of a storyteller in the ring. Jungle Lad is definitely climbing up the ranks to become one of the best wrestlers in AEW. Now competing as singles wrestler, Jack is continuing to prove his worth and why he's classed as one of the pillars of the company. It's going to be fairly soon that we see singles gold around his waist. Yes, it'll more than likely be the TNT or All Atlantic Championship at the moment, but they are all part of his path to the top title. He's been built to be more aggressive from his recent rivalry with mentor Christian Cage, which would definitely help him grow in the pecking order. I mean, none of us would have believed the Jungle Boy we saw in the early days would ever be the face of the company, but now, ooh, you better believe he can. We have already seen him with gold when he and former tag partner Luchasaurus carried the AEW Tag Championships and had a pretty decent run. More work on developing his character and perfecting his promos, and we will definitely see Jungle Boy leading the roster into the future. I will even go ahead and say if Jungle Boy hasn't won the AEW World Championship in the next 10 years, I will eat my hat. Number 4, Will Ospreay. Now I know there's going to be haters here, and I know we'll be getting comments telling me that Ospreay is overrated and doesn't deserve to win the title and he's not even in the company. Well, cool. Let's get back to the entry. Will Ospreay is arguably one of the best wrestlers on the planet. 5-star matches across the board, and some even with AEW talent on AEW TV. He can talk the talk and walk the walk. He more runs the walk, but all credit to him. Having beaten many top guys in New Japan and even been the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Ospreay is more than ready to become a top champion in a top American company. Ospreay's work is known globally and heavily respected that him becoming the champion could bring more eyes onto the AEW product, which means Tony Khan is on to a winner. Also, with the rumours going around that Kenny could potentially leave the company later this year, maybe Ospreay could fill the boots just as he was made to do when Kenny left New Japan. I understand this is a left-wing pick, but come on, the matches we would get from this title run would be insane. Number 3, Ricky Starks. The final 3 entries are all names that could potentially be the next champion after beating MJF, and we begin this trio with a pick that I think is absolute. Get it? Yes, Ricky Starks seems to be like a surefire AEW World Champion in the future, but what a strange journey it has been to get here. The Team Taz arc when he was FTW Champion was absolutely fantastic, and his work with Hobbs as a tag team matched the level of performance we were getting for months prior. Then the fallout of the tag team, which ended with an awful blow-off match at All Out 2022, and it all but seemed Ricky Starks was forgotten about by Tony Khan, as we rarely saw the guy until we saw him win the tournament to challenge MJF for the World Championship at Winter is Coming last December. Since his promo standing opposite Max on the 7th of December Dynamite, Stark has felt like a big deal, and he seems to still be high on the list of TV talent for everyone. He's just finished a rivalry with Chris Jericho with 2 clean wins and no losses. It's interesting to see where he'll go next. Hopefully it's a continuous push in top rivalries until he finally wins the big one. Number 2, Wardlow. You may not know it, but we are all living in Wardlow's world. You'll find it somewhere between Jupiter and Saturn. Yes, Wardlow has been one of the best organic growths in AEW's short history, coming in relatively unknown as the bodyguard of current AEW champ MJF, to getting one of the biggest pops of Revolution 2022 turning on his dastardly boss, to just beating Samoa Joe for his second TNT title reign at the time of recording, which could prove to be a better and more dominant reign than the first. It only makes sense to believe that Wardlow still has a rocket strapped to his back to become the company's first homegrown AEW champion. The crowd is definitely behind Wardlow. Every time his music hits, the crowd erupts. No matter how many times we get Wardlow against security guards, he continues to get more over. His character seems to be becoming more rounded as a relatable babyface the audience can definitely get behind. If Wardlow is the guy to beat MJF for the championship, it would make perfect sense story-wise and would be very fitting after the events surrounding MJF when the two previously faced at Double or Nothing 2022 overshadowed Wardlow's big win. Number 1, Adam Cole. Oh baby. It feels great knowing Adam Cole will be back in the ring soon. Forbidden Door was when he got injured, and that was back in June, so it would have been a total of 9 months since he was injured. And I feel I can speak for a few when I say, I'm so excited to see him back. He's one of those performers that isn't the best at any one particular thing, but he's damn good at all of the things. We are also seeing the new reality show, AEW All Access, debut the same night he returns, and Cole is going to be a heavy focus on it. This could be for a multitude of reasons. It was a really dark time in his life and he wanted to show everyone what he was going through. Also, he's very over. For every one person that complains about Adam, there's probably 4 that love the guy. What seems to be a complete babyface return, we could see him being crafted into the ultimate good guy to beat the tyrant that is MJF. Or we're going to be swerved and he will become an evil heel, and we all know he's good at doing that also. Regardless, Adam Cole is a name majority of people would probably have on their list of future AEW World Champions. We know he's fantastic as a champion. His NXT title run was arguably the best of all time, and his Ring of Honor title runs were also highly credited. You can't help but think it would be the same in AEW. And that's the list. I hope you enjoyed it. Any names you would like to see, chuck them in the comments and we may return for a part 2. If you want to see more videos, remember to hit the subscribe and like button, and I'll see you soon.